Hello everyone, Castle95 here, and tonight we're going to talk about ICW Fight Club from the 30th of June. So let me say that the show previous to this one was absolutely fantastic, one of my favorite shows of the entire year. But this one starts with Red Lightning talking about how he has tried time and time again to take over ICW with Drew Galloway and Jack Jester and all the guys that came before those guys with the black label and everything. Then Joe Coffey appears. They talk how they ended up working together, showing footage from 2 years ago where it was, I guess, one of the few interactions between Red Lightning and Joe Coffey before Joe Coffey was the world title, beating Trent Seven and then being part of the brand of Red Lightning. So basically Joe Coffey just says that nobody's on his level, that no matter what ICW throws in his way, he's going to be the champion forever, and that's cool. That was a really good thing. But the Red Lightning brand wasn't as exciting, as fun as last week. You know, last week these guys were on fire. Grado, Coffey, and Red Lightning were super entertaining. But this week they have just, I don't know, it wasn't as fun. I mean, maybe because last week they were cutting promos against Mark Dallas and against Noam Dar and Sha Samuels. So yeah, that was pretty intense. But now it's just Coffey saying that he's going to be the champion forever, which is alright. But I'm just saying that last week was more entertaining. Then we have a backstage interview with Viper. Well, she looks beat up. I mean, she looks like, wow, Kaylee Ray, Stevie Boy, Davey Blaze, and the women just have destroyed her. And well, then I think last week or 2 weeks ago, we saw the announcement of Viper being a part of the WWE Mae Young Classic, so that's some good news. I mean, I don't know what's the situation with World of Sports Wrestling, because Viper was one of the main attractions there. I don't know if that is still going to happen, but yeah, it definitely is a good thing having her at the WWE Network with this women's tournament. But then we go to Easton Reese versus Cap. Another catch of the day for Easton Reese. This guy has been great, has had a great run with ICW, being a part of the More Others, you know, with Mike Bird and Wild Boar. This catch of the day, job matches, squashes that Easton Reese has are always entertaining. You know, he changes the stipulation, giving a special treatment for the jobbers that he feels deserve it. And well, so far there hasn't been a real competition for Easton Reese. I mean, he is basically a typical monster heel stepping in jobbers' heads. But the only real challenge for him was Mark Coffey a few weeks ago, which I think that is going to be a long-term rivalry, because, you know, Polo Promotions was on fire these last weeks. Nobody can beat them. They have beaten the Bucky Boys, the Kings of Catch, and they are yet to beat the More Others, which are the only tag team that has beat Polo Promotions for the title. So yeah, I would love to see Mark Coffey going solo for a while with a rivalry between him and Easton Reese. That would be great. I mean, I really hope ICW gives us that. Mark Coffey versus Easton Reese was great, and I don't know, I was hoping for that point onwards to see Easton Reese having real matches with, you know, real competitors, not jobbers. But anyways, this was really entertaining because Easton Reese was really offended by as he called it, the flashy entrance of Cap, which the match is great. You have to watch it. More importantly, listen to it, because Billy Kirkwood is putting over Cap so good. Like, they are fucking hilarious in what they say during the match. Like, the commentaries here are just so amazing. And well, it's another catch of the day. Easton Reese kills this guy, then say that yeah, he was offended because of his entrance, and says no one will upstage the alpha male, the killer shark. So yeah, I really love this guy, his character. He gets better and better every week. He improves his mic skills. You know, at first only Mike Beard was the one talking for the More Others. He was really the microphone guy for that stable. But week after week, White Boar and Easton Reese are taking the mic. These guys are really good. So yeah, I feel with Polo Promotions would probably be the best thing they can do with them. So yeah, I'm really expecting something big out of Easton Reese this year. Then we have a backstage interview with with Grado about his match with BT Gun next week. I love this new Grado. I mean, since Baromania, this guy is just gold. I mean, he turned heel, he kicked Shaz Samuels in the nuts, and then aligned himself with Red Lightning, being part of that brand with Joe Coffey. I mean, his entire outfit, his theme song, even him using the stroke as a finisher, making shoutouts to Jeff Jarrett, calling him Alcohol Jeff, entering with an Impact Wrestling t-shirt. I mean, everything about this new Grado is fucking entertaining and is the best thing around. I just love to see him week after week, and I hope ICW... I love how ICW gets to showcase the talent of Grado in different ways. I mean, they have been his house, they have made Grado the phenom, like this super popular wrestler that he is, and now they are not only happy with that, but then improve Grado and make him one hell of a heel wrestler. Like, not only entertaining in the microphone, but he actually is in a good streak. Like, he doesn't lose one way or another. The booking is very, very smart in ICW in this season, because Grado hasn't lost a match and he hasn't really hurt his opponents. I mean, he won over Chris Renfrew and Stevie Boy, and because they have their own deals, their own stuff going on, so that's really great. And next week he's facing BT Gun, another guy that's facing change in his career in ICW. I mean, the guy wants to be separate completely from the newish clique. The guy doesn't want to didn't want to ally himself with Chris Renfrew anymore, and that has cost him. I mean, last week it was the first time we saw, I think a few weeks ago when he was in trouble with Kid Fight and his guys, it was the first time we saw BT Gun in problems because of his decisions. It was the first negative repercussion of him not aligning himself with anybody and trying to go solo. So yeah, that's really great, and I hope to see BT Gun versus Grado next week. I know it's going to be amazing and I can't wait. Then we have women's action, Sammy Jain and Viper against Casey and Kaylee Ray, the champion. So actually this is pretty interesting for them to book this match, because we all thought that Martina was the next big thing in the women's division. I mean, he was the only real rival for Kaylee Ray, because the Zero G and the women's division were actually a showcase divisions. Like, there wasn't really storylines going on with those divisions. I mean, it was just showcase matches and exhibition matches. You know, Kaylee Ray defending her title against Nixon Newell, Lana Austin, and other girls, but nothing that will stick around as a rivalry in the long term, or even in a short term, you know. But before Square Go, he has kind of a rivalry with Casey Owens, but basically Casey just won I think it was a 4-way match to face Kaylee Ray at the big event Square Go. Then she disappeared from ICW because I think I don't know if she was injured, but it was since she took a sick bump. She basically went for a front flip from the top rope to the outside. Nobody caught her, so she crashed into the floor flat on her back, and that was that looked horrible. So since then we haven't seen her again, until last week, where he appeared in Martina versus Kaylee Ray in a Glasgow Rules match, you know, with taking shots of vodka and I don't know what other stuff. So yeah, the match was really entertaining, but at the end, Chris Renfrew, Mikey Whiplash, and Casey Owens just cost Kaylee Ray her match, or Martina. So Kaylee Ray retains, and now I don't know, it's not clear if Casey is working with Mikey Whiplash or not. Okay, Kaylee Ray was actually drunk last week. Stevie Boy was mad at her because he doesn't want to face Mikey Whiplash and everything. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but things are getting really interesting between Viper and Kaylee Ray. I mean, Viper has intervened in some Kaylee Ray matches in the past months. Then the rivalry with Debbie Blaze, DCT, Coach Strip, Viper, Kaylee Ray, the women, and Stevie Boy was really great. I mean, the match that they had, they have had a couple of intergender matches with all of them are really enjoyable, really great. So I think now things are starting getting personal. I mean, between Kaylee Ray and Viper, it's really at a high peak, their rivalry. It's the most interesting thing that has happened out of the matches with the women's division. I mean, storyline wise, because Kaylee Ray is an awesome champion. She has had a lot of awesome matches week after week after week, but now it's kind of a more traditional storyline for wrestling. But anyways, ICW manages their talent in a really different way. So so you can really tell if they are doing something wrong or not. I mean, I really enjoy overall, but I think some rivalry, something personal between two girls wrestling, fighting for a title, it's really attractive. So I really appreciate them building something between Viper and Kaylee Ray. I don't know if with the announce of Viper being part of the Mae Young Classic, this is going to take her away from ICW. Maybe she's going to NXT, nobody knows, but maybe it's the same case as Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, and those guys that can have matches in the UK, but they are under contract with NXT or something like that. But anyways, they are really doing great things with her. I mean, as long as they can, So this tag team match was really interesting. What I liked the most was the teamwork between Kaylee Ray and Casey. I mean, I think the chemistry between those two is awesome. I mean, their match at Square Go is one of my favorites of the entire year. That match was really great. Having them as allies for this match was pretty cool. I mean, the facial expressions of Casey Quinn are really, really good. Kaylee Ray is awesome with that as well. I think Viper and Sammy Jain are not really that good with facial expressions, They don't really transmit much with that, but Kaylee Ray and Casey are definitely better. But I like the relationship between them two. I mean, it's like they don't want to be friends, but they know they have to work together. Casey actually doesn't have problems with Kaylee Ray being a little stiff with her, when Kaylee Ray talks Casey with a chop to the chest, and Casey just laughs at it. She knows how Kaylee Ray is, so she doesn't have problems with that. So yeah, that looks really cool. I like that in the middle of the match, just Viper chases Kaylee Ray to the back. Then we have a little one-on-one between Casey and Sammy Jain. I really like the spot when you can see Casey going for a split leg, then she hangs herself upside down, then kicks Sammy Jain in the face, then go with a couple of knees right to the chest into the corner, then a running knee. That was amazing combo, and I really like Casey's stuff. And I like how they present the hair as she's flying solo Casey Owens. So yeah, I think it's great having her back. I don't know if she's going to be a part of Legion, this faction formed between Mikey Whiplash and Chris Renfrew. Nobody really knows what Mikey Whiplash's plan is, but they also repackaged Chris Renfrew in a really, really cool way. So I really appreciate ICW putting so much love into this. They know what they're doing, and I really love ICW. So yeah, I like the match. I like how Viper seems so dominant, and only Kaylee Ray can actually hurt her and stop her. Then we have a kind of a doomsday device. I mean, Kaylee Ray's an electric chair is in an electric chair in Viper's shoulders, but Sammy Jain has to fly from the second rope into an ace crusher, but she fails, and it looks, well, it didn't look horrible, but yeah, it was bad. Thankfully that spot didn't end the match. Then Viper chases Casey to the back again, and Kaylee wins the match with a schoolgirl. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, I was expecting a Viper against Kaylee Ray match, but I don't know if we already seen that. I don't remember, but what I appreciate the most about this is the storyline, that they're starting to build something between these four women, and having Sammy Jain back is good too. So yeah, that's great. Then we have a segment between the redlining brand, Grado Coffee and Redlining, and yeah, it's pretty entertaining. As I said, I preferred these guys last week. Now they are just arguing over who deserves what, and Grado is a former world champion. Grado acting like a kid. They are not really getting mad at each other, but yeah, it was funny. It was an entertainment segment, but nothing really great about it. Then we have a backstage interview with Kenny Williams. He's really mad. I mean, he doesn't want to talk with no one, and he doesn't want to give an interview. He's really mad at Zach Gibson because he attacked him a couple times. Then he says he doesn't have times. That we have never seen Kenny Williams like this, I guess. I mean, Zach Gibson has been his real rival through his entire title reign, because, I mean, Lionheart set the bar really, really high with his Zero G championship reign. But when Kenny Williams won that title, it was just a showcase title reign, exhibition matches with another athletes, but not really a storyline, like a deep personal rivalry with someone, except for Zach Gibson, who has actually gained his place in ICW, attacking attacking Kenny Williams and being his worst nightmare week after week after week. So yeah, I really appreciate how they have managed Zach Gibson's road to being the new Zero G champion, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Then we have Charlie Sterling versus Nathan Cruz. I mean, this match, since the moment they announced this, I knew this was going to be a super match, you know. I really like Charlie Sterling. I think he can very well be the next Kenny Omega. You know, don't get me wrong, he's super athletic. Like, look at his physique. Like, he has the looks and everything. He can be a powerhouse. He can be a high flyer, but you know, nobody has really bet on him, at least for now. I mean, they have put him in tag teams. ICW has used him like as a filler in the Zero G division, as well as, for example, Morgan Webster or Matt Cross. He hasn't really done anything, but you know, he has this character of Clark Kent, which is really a really plain and boring character. You know, someone that is just, his only appealing is that he's perfect, you know, he's like Superman or like John Cena. He doesn't have mistakes. He's basically not a human, so you can really relate to someone like that. You know, when a character doesn't have flawless, like he's smart, he's good looking, he's tall, he's all the good things, he's like a Boy Scout, he's like Superman, and yeah, what about it? I mean, he's fucking boring. At least you watch Nathan Cruz, and the guy is sometimes a coward. The guy cheats, he lies, he manipulates people, he's frustrated because he didn't sign with NXT. People molest him because he went to America, didn't got a job there. So yeah, that's more enjoyable. At least for me, I think it's a more enjoyable character, more deep, and you can actually relate to Nathan Cruz. But Charlie Sterling is actually a superhero, so yeah, there's nothing really human about him. So I really hope some company in the world just, you know, sees the potential in here and gives him a really good character that he can work with, you know, that showcase his talents, not only in-ring action, but you know, acting and with the mic and portraying a character in front of a camera. So yeah, I really hope that happens before 2017 is over. But yeah, the match is amazing. I mean, it's a cool showcase for both talents. Nathan Cruz cheating, going in front of the fans, screaming and arguing with the ref, using the ropes, you know, going to the outside. Charlie Sterling using the ropes, just doing flips and stuff. Then at some point he just dives from the stage in a front flip. He lands horribly on his back. Like, Nathan Cruz didn't catch him at all. Just basically Nathan Cruz power bombed him into the concrete, into the floor. So yeah, that looks sick. In the end, Charlie Sterling gets the win. But before that, we see the most beautiful enzuigiri I've ever seen from Nathan Cruz. Like, that was really a really high enzuigiri, and it was perfectly executed, and I really loved how Nathan Cruz did that. I mean, I had to talk about that. So in the end, Charlie Sterling just wins with the spiral tap, and that's great. I mean, as I said, I really hope some company gives Charlie Sterling the opportunity of being or of portrayed a really interesting character really soon. So then we have a backstage segment with Viper really sad about everything that's going on, and you know, she's frustrated with ICW, with her career, with her husband, and all the stuff with Davey Blaze and the women. And he reunites herself with DCT, but DCT goes out looking for something, and then Casey just attacks Viper backstage at the bar. So yeah, as I said, I'm glad ICW is actually doing something storyline wise with Casey, Kaylee Ray, and Viper. I appreciate that. Hope this goes well. And yeah, so that's how we get to the main event. Zach Gibson challenging Kenny Williams for the Zero G Championship. They show footage from the 13th of May where Zach Gibson actually made Kenny Williams tap, but it was outside the ring, outside the building even, so it didn't count. There was a lot of controversy with the square goal match where Zach Gibson apparently won the title, but you know, the confusing rules made that Kenny Williams actually retained. So yeah, in the end, this is the most anticipated match of these later weeks in ICW. I think they have done a really good job booking this rivalry. They're taking it personal. frustrating Kenny Williams. Actually now, even though the last match these two had where Kenny Williams beat actually from May, Kenny Williams have beaten Zach Gibson clean, but this time was a street fight and it was different. You know, Zach Gibson comes out with a pair of jeans instead of his regular outfit, and it starts really violent with chair shots and everything going outside. I love every part of this match. You know, Kenny Williams using low blows, and actually Kenny Williams is the first to go for a chair, so that shows that he is really not only mad at Zach Gibson but also preoccupied and, you know, worried about losing his title. Like, he knows he has to do everything that's on his possibilities to retain, and Zach Gibson knows he's already in Kenny's head, so that's pretty intense. They go outside the building, they crash into some cars, some walls. Kenny Williams goes to the top of a truck, then jumps from there. Before that, we can see the Shankly gates in the middle of the street. I mean, that was great. Every moment of this match is really cool. It lasts a long time. Then, I like how Zach Gibson does that arm chain. I don't know how you call it. Like, they lock their knuckles and then he just lifts Kenny Williams over. Kenny climbs up to the balcony from Zach Gibson's shoulders, then throws himself in a moonsault, and that was really sick. So yeah, out of the series of matches these two have had, I mean, this has to be the best they have had with an stipulation, and their match in May was the best without any stipulation, you know, a traditional singles match. But yeah, the spots with the chairs, with the table, I really love that Zach Gibson applying his finisher from the second rope through a table, that twisting brainbuster. I don't know how he calls that, but yeah, he's really cool. I mean, I've really become a fan of Zach Gibson through this rivalry with Kenny Williams. I mean, I've known him. I used to watch him in Progress Wrestling as part of the Origin, but I haven't really, you know, been a fan of him until he took the microphone on ICW, and this guy is just amazing with that. I mean, I love the moment when they showcased him in Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel because of the whole world of sports wrestling thing, promotional videos and everything. I don't know how that is going on. I mean, I don't know if that is going to happen at all, because I remember months ago I've read that, you know, WWE had something to do with WOS not being on UK television or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, that bring a lot of attraction, a lot of eyes over Zach Gibson. So one of those eyes was me. I really love what ICW has been doing with him, and I hope they still use him like the way they are doing it. I love his approach to the 0G division. Like, he is saying that it is no longer going to be that the skinny flip boys division. He's going to be a pure wrestling, the best title in Europe and in the world. So I really love Zach Gibson. And during the match, the final minutes, we can see Kenny Williams going for a suicide dive, but actually landing in the barricade, eating the barricade up, just crashing them, and then Zach Gibson crushes him with a chair on his neck into a ring post. So that was really sick. Shankly gates. And what's really interesting here is that actually Kenny fades out. He's knocked out. I mean, he didn't tap, but he's out. He's dead. Like, he's fucking dead. And Zach Gibson just wins the title like he fucking deserves it. It was a great moment. I mean, for someone that has been following this guy, chasing this title month after month, this is a really good moment. Like, actually, Billy Kirkwood said that it was 18 months that he was chasing the title. And yeah, this guy deserves it totally. I cannot wait to see what he's going to do with this 0G division. I cannot wait to see the matches that he's going to give us. I mean, maybe he's going to have a match with Louis Gervin, with Ricochet, with Matt Cross. I can't wait to see all those matches. I can't wait to see who is going to be the next rival for Zach Gibson. I don't know if Kenny Williams is going to make a heel turn or anything. I mean, yeah, only good things can happen from now on. And I really loved the backstage interview with Zach Gibson after winning the belt. It was actually really cool. So yeah, they gave the 0G title the main event, and I think Zach Gibson could very well, like, overpass Lionheart's title reign as a heel, you know. Lionheart left the bar really high, but Zach Gibson could actually do as just as good or maybe a better job with that title, because the guy is super charismatic. I mean, the second he appears on stage, the fans are just yelling boo so loud. He has the fans in the palm of his head, of his hand, and he's just so good. So yeah, it was a really good show. I can't wait for the next episode. And this is it for this video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. So see you in the next one.